penduduk-penduduk Bukit Batok, para hadirin hadirat sekalian, selamat malam. Saya Murali pilih calon bagi Parti Tindakan Rakyat Bukit Batok untuk pilihan raya kecil. Saya telah berusaha di Bukit Batok selama 16 tahun. Terutamanya dengan mendiang Dr. Wang Chi Cheung, bekas pemimpin rakyat Bukit Batok. Beliau sudah meninggal sekarang 8 tahun. Dalam manifesto saya menyatakan beberapa rancangan untuk memberi lebih bantuan kepada penduduk-penduduk Bukit Batok dari segi pekerjaan, menolong penduduk tua kita yang uzur dan anak-anak dari keluarga kita yang kurang mampu. Dengan kerjasama anda, kita bersama-sama akan memastikan Bukit Batok dapat terus membangun dengan maju demi masa depan kita. Saya berikrar untuk berkhidmat sepenuh hati untuk anda. Undilah PAP untuk kediaman yang selamat. Undilah PAP untuk masa depan yang cermat, cerah. Undilah PAP. Sekian, terima kasih. Bukit Batok Makale, வணக்கம். நான் இங்கு 16 வருடமா சேவை செய்துள்ளேன். உங்களுக்கு மேலும் மேலும் மற்றும் மீண்டும் மீண்டும் சேவை செய்ய எனக்கு உங்கள் வாக்கு தாருங்கள். மாசேகாவுக்கு உங்கள் ஆதரவை கொடுங்கள். நன்றி, வணக்கம். 大家晚上好。我是阿姆。大家到我们的群众大会，请大家投人民行动党，请投我阿姆一票。Residents of Bukit Batok and friends, how are you feeling today? We are quite lucky because the rain has stopped and I think it's quite cool now. So I hope you are enjoying it on top of the hill called Bukit Gombak. Nice view too. So we are really blessed with good weather and we are surrounded by good people. Thank you very much for making the time to come here. I can really feel the energy standing here from you. Thanks so much for coming here. Friends, I have received much advice on how to do well in these elections. Not too long ago, I shared with the press a very interesting piece of advice from a friend. He told me, to do well in election, you must look well on TV. You must look well in the photographs. So I said, what I must do? He said, Murali, shave off your mustache. I was startled. I said, this mustache, even army I didn't shave off. Why must I shave off now? He said, you know, statistics has it that facial hair is not a good idea when you want to look good in media. And then he asked me, how many MPs you know in parliament sport mustache? That stopped me for a while. But I said to him, sorry, I'm Amu, I have my moustache, I have my warts, I have my all, and I'll be just like that, and I'm afraid Bukit Batok residents will be saddled with it. So he went off a bit disappointed, I guess. But what is interesting is this. After that, when I made it public, many supporters, ardent supporters amongst you, started sporting a moustache to support me. So for these ardent supporters, thank you so much. I'm really very touched. But as Mothership said, I'm not sure whether Gillette and Braun will be too happy.
That is your trademark. The moustache is your trademark.
Okay. Thank you very much. I consider that. Tonight, I want to talk about my vision for making Bukit Batok a more caring community. A community where, irrespective of our backgrounds, everybody is helped and nobody is left behind. But first, I want to talk about the mentors who shaped my attitudes to life. I will talk about 3 mentors. I begin with my late father. He was a trade unionist in Naval Base Union. He fought for the rights of workers in the 1950s when we were part of the colony. Under him, I learned quite a lot, and I want to highlight 3 main values. First, he said that if I entered politics, I must make it very, very clear that whatever I do, I must do it for our people. He told me this unequivocally. He said, when you leave politics, make sure you leave with just the shirt on your back. That was his advice to me when I asked him whether I could join PAP. And of course, I thought he would have some objections because he was a Barisan socialist person and went into detention. But he gave me his full support. He just gave me this piece of advice. Next, he advised me, and this is another value that he taught me, respect everyone. Respect everyone irrespective of their background. So this is something which I've imbibed as well. The last one is something which is very endearing for me. He quoted from Guru Nanak. Now, for those in the audience who may not know Guru Nanak is the founder of Sikhism. So he quoted from Guru Nanak this verse. Truth is the highest virtue. Even higher is truthful living. So what it means is, practice what you preach. So that was something that he said time and time again, and it got ingrained in my mind. His passing was a big blow to me. I turned vegetarian after he passed away. I received some solace, though, from a good piece of advice that I received, which is the best way to cherish his memory is to live life in accordance with the values that he taught me. So that's an advice I've been following. The next mentor I want to highlight and speak about today is none other than the late Dr. Wang Chi Cheung. Dr. Ong was responsible for bringing me into community service. He is no stranger to Bukit Batok, far from it. He was an MP here for more than 20 years, from 1988 to 2008. He was a visionary. I learned leadership skills under him. He forged together a strong, committed group of volunteers. Many of them who are here today. Can I hear from them? The volunteers from Bukit Batok, the community volunteers. Thank you very much for your dedicated service all through the years. If I were to throw a stone and it hits them, it would probably hit a person who has served 15 years and above. Many of them have served 30 years and above. So thank you very much. 谢谢你. 谢谢你们的支持。I've undertaken a number of projects under the late Dr. Wang Chi Cheung. And whenever anyone asks Dr. Ong how much time would he give to implement the project, he would famously ask, "Do you know my name?" Then I said, "Yes, Wang Chi Cheung." "Do you know what Chi Cheung means in Hokkien?" I didn't know. I asked, it meant immediate. So then I got it. It has to be immediate. So that's the kind of person he was. He was a good mentor, and I learned a lot under him. And I'm sure it's the same feeling with the dedicated pool of volunteers that we have in Bukit Batok. Next, Mr. Lim Boon Heng. Mr. Lim. Thank you. Mr. Lim was the anchor minister of Jurong GRC when Dr. Wang Chi Cheung suddenly passed away in 2008. As I was the branch secretary of Bukit Batok branch, I worked very closely with him. I learned quite a lot of important lessons under him. I've seen in many discussions with residents, he was listening much more than talking. So he taught me the lesson of active listening. Not just listening to the words, but trying to understand what drives the residents. That's even more important sometimes, because they say something but when you look at their face and you really listen to them hard, you can understand the innermost feelings, the emotions, what drives them. And then you are able to better solve their problems. And he made it very clear that whatever we do, as community leaders, as politicians, we must make sure that residents remain the center of what we do. So there you are. My political life has been shaped by these three mentors, these three giants. I'm indebted to them. I don't see politics as a career. This is not my career. This is not my tantia. This is a cause. This is a sacred duty. I'm not interested to say things just to keep me in the post. That is not what drives me. I also feel a debt that I owe to my mentors. Let me relate a story which happened just recently. I went for a house visit and Mr. Lim Boon Heng accompanied me. So we met a resident who happens to know Mr. Lim Boon Heng. So we had a discussion. So the resident rhetorically asked, "So how, after elections, if you win, would you come back and see me for a house visit?" I was about to reply. But before I opened my mouth, Mr. Lim already came in. He said, "If Amu does not turn up, he will get a kick." So I then said, there is no danger of me getting a kick because I'm quite well trained already. So that is my experience with the three mentors that I've learned. I also have been helped greatly by friends that I had over the number of years. I want to mention in particular my experience in Hwa Chong. Some of them are here today. I see Ju Chai there. Can you put up your hand? Andrew, anybody else from Hwa Chong? So good to see you here. Now, I was quite an active, perhaps the teachers would say naughty, but I'll use a neutral term, active student in Hwa Chong. I was a student counselor. I played hockey for the school. And I was in a very important club with a rather unimaginative name, the PA-AVA Club, which took care of the public address and AVA needs of the college. I also was in a fantastic tutorial group, the S33 group, who played more than studied, but that's another story altogether. Because we were so active, we used to stay in Hwa Chong itself. I used to stay in Hwa Chong itself. But not the Hwa Chong hostel, because we couldn't afford that. We stayed in a Hwa Chong storeroom, 4 of us, 5 of us plus me. And this was quite fortunate because I was staying in Sembawang. Many of us were staying far away. And the school principal, Bernard Fong, was kind enough to allow us to stay in that one room. So by staying in Hwa Chong, we could do more council work for our students, fellow students, like tapawing dinner for them during exam time. So we were very, very close band of brothers and sisters. I still remember the Sanke, right? Remember the Sanke? You want to sing the song? Maybe I'll try the first line. Hey, does that sound right? San san liu sui si li li hey. Hey yo yo hey. I better stop here while the going is good. Yes, we are very close, and needless to say, we are friends for life. We were never in competition. We were all helping each other cross the finishing line. We had our share of practical jokes as well. I remember Vincent, who is now a doctor, he put a mouse tail that he got from the bio lab into my pillow. I won't tell you how we settled it, but we lived. So I learned from that experience that so long as we are together, we can overcome hardship. So my pledge to Bukit Batok residents, I come with a lifetime of experience and lessons learned from my mentors and my friends. I will work for you with all my heart. When there is a clash between my personal interests and Bukit Batok residents' interests, I will always put Bukit Batok first. Thank you. I want to make a positive difference for you. The day I stop doing that, I will leave. When I leave with a shirt on my back and with nothing else but memories of my service with you. I now would like to talk about my plans for Bukit Batok residents. But before that, it may be good to recount about the history of Bukit Batok. And I'm quite indebted to Mr. Bay because he spoke about the history of Bukit Batok in Teochew. In the year of independence, 1965, Bukit Batok was just a rural area with fish farms, with poultry farms, and of course we had the granite quarries. Today, it is a beautiful housing estate, but more importantly, it is an extremely closely knit community. For that, we have to thank our Bukit Batok residents. They are the reason why we have a closely knit community. There were, of course, problems over the years, but we managed to overcome them together. Let me highlight two problems. In the 1980s, there was a lot of resentment arising from the fact that many families were resettled from the kampongs into the housing estates. So as a result of that, there was quite a bit of people who were upset. Not only that, in the 80s, early 90s, there was some objection to the siting of St. Luke's Hospital in Bukit Batok itself. So this was an initiative of the late Dr. Ong. He was far-sighted, and he wanted to bring St. Luke's Hospital into Bukit Batok. That was around the 90s, early 90s. And there was quite a bit of objection because at that time they said, why have a hospital in my backyard? So what did we do? We engaged our residents. We ask them to think about the long-term interests of our families living in Bukit Batok. And now, thanks to our residents who acceded and agreed to the building of the hospital there, we are now reaping the rewards because Bukit Batok has matured and many of our elderly find the services very convenient because it's just a walking distance away. So Bukit Batok residents know that PAP, the People's Action Party, is a trusted party, is a party that always looks out for the interests of our Bukit Batok residents. They also know that they can rely on the Jurong family, now headed by DPM Tharman, and also consists of our Jurong MPs, and I consider Madam Halima our permanent advisor too. So we are very fortunate. We take care of our Bukit Batok interests, but Bukit Batok is part of the Jurong family, and DPM and the fellow Jurong MPs will take care of Bukit Batok because we are part of the family, if we are given a chance to be elected as representative of Bukit Batok. Now I talk about the new challenges that face us. Of course there are challenges. And in my discussions with Bukit Batok residents, a good number of them are concerned about the gloomy economic climate. But there is also a confidence amongst our Bukit Batok residents. They know that so long as a community we tackle these problems together, just like before, we can surmount, we can overcome. Let me talk about the job situation. At the present moment, the unemployment rate is about 3%. But to a Bukit Batok resident who has lost his job, the effect is 100%. So how do we help our residents who face themselves in this situation? In my manifesto, I've outlined some measures to help these affected Singaporeans. I advocated fair practices. All things being equal, Singaporeans' job, our fellow Singaporeans' job, should be preserved over a foreigner's. If the economy goes down even further, we must be thinking about tightening the employment pass criteria so that we preserve our Singaporean core. But as a community, we can also do better. That is why I want to start, with your blessings, a community job placement program. What do I mean by a community job placement program? This would involve me working with our dedicated pool of community leaders, using our contacts, using my work contacts, leveraging on the Jurong family contacts to help Bukit Batok residents who find themselves out of a job. We then try and match them with jobs whom we get to know through our Jurong family contacts, through our Bukit Batok contacts, through my work contacts. And I have used it to good effect. Let me give you two examples. Miss Ng was a lady whom I met not too long ago during my house visit. She had just lost a job. She was working in a bank. And she told me that she's looking for another job, but she had some difficulty. So I put her in touch with a person who is running the IT skills competency course in SMU. So the idea was for Miss Ng to upskill herself and get a more value-added job in the banking industry. So I wish Miss Ng all the best in her journey to upskill herself. I want to also talk about Mr. Rizzoli. Now, Mr. Rizzoli is a famous man who was doing push-ups with me in the video which was uploaded in my Facebook. Mr. Rizzoli is 66 years old. Or should I say 66 years young, because he's very, very fit. He told me that he still wants to work and asked me for some help. So I said, no problem. I contacted some friends within the community as well, and I gave them a character reference. I said, when I was doing push-ups with Mr. Rizzoli, by the 10th time, I was feeling it already. I almost couldn't make it. But for Mr. Rizzoli, he just got warmed up. He was about to go, have more push-ups for himself. So I realized that he's a very fit person. So immediately, 2 job offers went to him. And Mr. Rizzoli is quite happy. And he's considering these 2 job offers. And I'm sure he would be very gainfully employed in a short time. So we wish Mr. Rizzoli all the best. Last but not least, we must always keep an eye out for our low-income families, especially families who are affected by job losses. We are one community where the well-off will always support the not-so-well-off. And we must make sure that all of us would help each other in times of need. So we will look out actively for our low-income families. If the opportunity presents itself, we will certainly do so. I come to a very important date. 7th of May 2016. Do you know what date is that?
Election day.
Election day. Yes, thank you. Polling day. Let me ask again. Do you know what 7th May 2016 is?
Polling day.
Yes, polling day. Bukit Batok residents would have to make a very important decision on the 7th of May 2016. They would have to decide who should be their elected representative. I would suggest that they need to consider a number of questions, which I will now outline. Let me see if you know the answers to these questions. Which party will be better able to take care of the needs of Bukit Batok residents? Let me ask the question again, and please reply with more gusto. Which party will be better able to take care of Bukit Batok residents? That's more like it. Which party will be able to address Bukit Batok residents' concerns? Which party will be better able to take care of the living environment of Bukit Batok residents? That's right. Friends, residents, I see a Bukit Batok where everyone in the community is respected and supported. Every individual, every family is a part of the Bukit Batok family. The more well-off must continue to support the less well-off. We are one community. This is what I mean when I said in my manifesto, all for one, one for all. Now I say to you, all for one. Let's try again. All for one. All for one. All for one. Very good, very good. Thank you very much. Wo amu wenin fu. I pledge to serve with all my heart. Terima kasih. Xie xie. Nandri. Thank you very much, my friends.